Did you know about this early Pokemon trading card game promotion found in this magazine? Well, let's find out. What's up, guys? Joe R, Vintage Pokemon, and we're back with Pokemon history. We've got a really cool episode for you guys today. We're taking a look at the March 1999 release of the Nintendo Power magazine. And we're going to be taking a look at this thing because, well, for one thing, it bleeds vintage Pokemon artwork, but it also has a really cool, unique promotional release for the Pokemon TCG that not a lot of people know about. I bet many of you guys watching this don't know about this card, as a matter of fact. So let's take a look inside and see what we can find. And right on the inside of this magazine, you'll see it right off the bat. You got this gorgeous vintage artwork. I mean, this bleeds nostalgia. Look at that Sugimori artwork. And we've got a flyer here right off the bat that, oh, look, man, look at that old school Charmander and just Bulbasaur and Squirtle artwork with blue and red sitting there. Just so cool. And by the way, if you want to subscribe to Nintendo Power, it's only $19.95 a month. I'm sorry, I mean $19.95 for a year, just adjusting for a little inflation there. But just really cool that they talk about how to evolve a Pikachu into a Raichu of all things. And you can see, you just continue to flip through this. We got Star Wars, a little bit of just promoting N64. That's how old this is. We're talking Game Boy and N64 here. So just some really cool stuff. You know, they've got Legend of Zelda as well. All kinds of stuff inside this magazine. But what's really cool about this is the card that's in the back. And on the back of this magazine, on the last page, you open up to find this. A promotional release of a Charmeleon, a Shadowless Charmeleon nonetheless, for the Pokemon TCG. And I feel like this does not happen very often, where you've got a release of a Shadowless Pokemon card, especially on a flyer of this kind. So it's just, I think, a pretty unique kind of release that we're dealing with here. And given the short run for Shadowless Pokemon cards by Wizards of the Coast, just something really cool to kind of like talk about and have as part of your collection. And if you take a read here, it says Charmeleon, as any Pokemon master can tell you, Charmeleon evolves from Charmander, which is one of the basic Pokemon found in the Pokemon trading card game 2-player starter set. With your Charmeleon card, you'll be able to raise Charmander's hit points by 30 points while increasing its attack power 3-fold. And you got a little bit of vintage nostalgia there with the Charmeleon artwork and the Pikachu sitting there as well. And it comes just on this like really nice flyer. It's got like a thickness to it, so it's not just like cheap. And the Pokemon cards held on by sort of just like a little bit of sticky tack, the same kind of stuff that you get in the mail attached to your credit cards that holds the credit card to the piece of paper in the mail. So you got, of course, a little bit more vintage Pokemon trading card action here on the left-hand page. But just such a really cool kind of release to have with the Wizards logo and the Nintendo logo there for Nintendo Power Magazine. And they're known for doing releases on flyers. As a matter of fact, we have a few others that we can actually show you guys off. But this one in particular, one of the few times where you've got a Shadowless card that's getting released. And there's nothing actually special about this Shadowless Charmeleon, other than the fact that it is indeed Shadowless, but there is no promo stamp or gold stamp or W stamp on it. It is truly just promoting the Pokemon trading card game. And they just went with Charmeleon, I guess, because Charmeleon is just super cool of all the Pokemon cards they could have possibly had. So if you're interested in something like this, you can actually pretty easily find this magazine. Chances are it won't have the Charmeleon on it, but you can very easily pick up a copy of this magazine. It's not hard to get. And you can actually get that flyer and take it out as well, even if you wanted. So we can actually show you here on camera. If you grab yourself your book, you can pretty easily take the flyer out. You just have to be very careful not to actually rip the flyer. And behind the card is just the printing of the back of what one of these standard Pokemon cards actually looks like. And so Nintendo Power has done this sort of thing before where they release a Pokemon card attached to an actual flyer. But if you're interested in displaying something like this, I know most people like to display their Pokemon cards, like getting them graded and things like that. But I think this is another really cool way that you could display your cards, is you could get something like this, put the card on it, frame it up, make sure the card is well protected, but you can put that on a frame and on a desk, and you can just kind of talk about it and have it there for you to look at. I love the vintage artwork and the information that comes with it. I think it just oozes history. So just something really cool that not a lot of people know about, because it's not a true promo card in that it has a stamp on it or anything. It's just a regular Charmeleon that's in the back of a random Nintendo Power magazine during peak Pokemon insanity. 1999, March 1999, Pokemon Fever is coming to, like, literally its like maximum, so to speak, maximum effort on Pokemon's part. So something really cool that you can grab for yourself. And just make sure that if you are enjoying this episode, if you didn't know about this, you should like and subscribe to this video so that you can get more awesome Pokemon vintage content like this. And I'm actually going to show you what mine looks like, because I'm going to frame mine up and I'm going to make it look super sick. And we'll be right back with that. Okay, and there you go. Check that out. Doesn't that look sick? We took our card and our flyer and we framed it up, and it looks awesome inside this thing. And it's just a really neat way to kind of display something like this. I love how it looks. It's different from a PSA card. It has a little bit of that nostalgia with the Charmeleon and Pikachu art in the top right-hand corners. You can see the Wizards logo and the Nintendo seal there, which I think is pretty sick. And just overall, a really nice way to show off a Pokemon card or Pokemon card collection. And I like to do this with a couple other things that I have around my actual display room, and I just think it looks really cool. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys get to try something like this yourselves. Always be creative and try new things like I've tried with this. And keep on the lookout for more great content coming your way. Joe R. Vintage Pokemon, always doing vintage Pokemon card stuff. Bye-bye.